options. And our first task is to vote on minutes from the December meeting.
So move.
Second,
Is Bill allowed to
I
make
think Bill
motions?
he is not. He is saying.
Sorry. How about you?
So sorry.
How about you make the motion, Patrice? Oh,
I second it.
I need someone else to make the motion then.
I'm on mute.
I move.
All
Thank you,
right,
Anton.
thanks, Anton. We're, does anybody have any questions or comments about those minutes? Seeing none, we do need to do a roll call.
We do.
Jamie, can you do that for me, please?
Yep, Deb,
Yes.
Anton,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Lydia,
Yes.
Patrice,
Yes,
Dan.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you.
Okay, we have approved minutes. Review the meeting agenda for today, which is updates on the Superfund cost recovery, Sustainable Scarborough Day, the committee website, and then we'll have updates. Any questions or requests to modify the agenda? Public comments, seeing no public, I will skip that as well. And we're ready now for old business, which is stuck. I have reached out to the staff for a couple of times, have not had a response. I do know that the legislature is swamped with some other things right now that are really urgent. It would seem to me reasonable to go through the draft resolution just so that we're in position if and when we get that material from them. Again, it is my understanding that all the members of our delegation are in support of this proposal. The only thing we're missing is the letter that proves it to the town council. So I assume that could come in short order.
I provided our basic support that the draft I have presented to the chair.
Okay,
And so he's ready to discuss it once we feel like we've advanced the whole discussion further.
okay. I will continue. I'll reach out directly to Stacy at this point. This issue had been tossed over to a staffer who may not be seeing it as the same level of priority, or maybe, I don't know, because I know that there are a lot of things going on over there, so. Oh, and Jamie has pulled up the draft, which looks very similar to what we had pulled from Rockland.
Yeah, Rockland and Yarmouth.
Okay,
And so it is kind of more tailored to Scarborough, recognizing or referencing our vulnerability assessment, and
and
things like
our
that.
winter storm damage and things like that. Does anybody have questions or comments about this resolution? Seeing none, I think we need to vote to forward the resolution, and we can have a conditional vote, I would expect.
I mean, I think that you can kind of vote it out of this committee and, we can refer it to town council and they can take it up. When
Okay.
it's
And we can
into-
tuck in the letter from our delegation. if we
Yeah,
wanna
I
make
mean,
that
as
step.
long as this is kind of, as long as the group is. Set with this and doesn't have any changes, we can just hold it until we have the letter, and until council is ready to. Take it up. Patrice, did you have something to add?
oh no, I was, no, it was just a sick hand straying.
Oh, feel better.
Yeah,
What's up, Anthony?
I'm sorry, I still struggle with this. It just seems so aspirational. There seems to be nothing pragmatic about this at all. I hate to continue to always go back to the beginning on this, but I don't know.
Tilting at windmills, is that your perception?
Yeah, it's just like, well, it's like I don't know.
The other option is not tilting.
And what is if we go right back to the beginning of this, what is the model for this, the thought process? This is basically comes out of the tobacco settlement that,
And also the Superfund efforts.
but we have all benefited from this, you know, like. If you, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna ramble on, and I shouldn't.
Well, and we all benefited from, the polluting companies as well. for
Yeah,
years
we-
when
we-
externalizing that.
Yeah,
So,
we did, I mean, they generated electricity
I'm talking about the Superfund. The mining companies and the manufacturing, companies, yeah. Who were externalizing all of their waste into the water stream and that. I mean, I hear your objection. Here's what I'm going to do as chair of this committee. I'm going to say, is it the committee's will to discuss this further? We hear your objection. I'm not trying to.
No,
Set that
I'm not being very eloquent here at all. I mean, it comes back to my idea of, for instance, General Electric dumping toxic transformers or whatnot, chemicals into the Hudson River. I see that as clearly actionable. But when you say fossil fuel companies should contribute significantly to local communities to fix the damage they've caused, I say, well, they didn't realize that they were causing damage. We were all benefiting from those behaviors, from those actions.
They have in fact realized that for decades. I don't have a good timestamp on this, but it's like
40 years at least.
It seems like, though, it's like hindsight bias. We look at it by today's standards. We look back and we go, well, 40 years ago, we shouldn't have been, or even when I was younger, 50 years ago, we shouldn't have been using leaded gasoline. Well, we know that now, but you didn't know that then.
right, but there is a body of research generated by those companies and the scientific establishment that dates back 40 years that clearly delineates the risks.
And they buried it.
Yeah, isn't it like the tobacco settlements where smoking is a choice, right? But they weren't transparent about the risks when they knew.
It seems to me tobacco is very clear cut. But
Jamie, can you manage the online commenters?
Yeah,
Since we can't see them.
I think that was background noise that we were hearing.
I don't know. I just continue to struggle with this, trying to sort it out.
And I share some of that struggle. It's not that I don't understand it. I see this bill more as a statement, a shot across the bow. That we know and you know, and we know you know. And I would be happier if this was forward looking, but I'm not in charge of this bill. And I'm comfortable asking for it.
Do you feel if we progress this to town council? Who is going to, don't you think they're gonna ask somebody from this committee to be there to kind of explain it and defend it? Who feels comfortable doing that?
Our chair would normally be the person to.
I can do that. Stacy had offered, I think. Dan, did you say Stacy had
Yeah,
offered?
that's
it,
what
or
I was gonna say as
Stacy?
well. Yep. I think that would, I mean, she's not a member of this committee, but I certainly think that that would be a pretty powerful voice. Somebody who could speak pretty eloquently to it.
And the council could decide whether to recognize her or not, but she has every right anyone else does to speak in the.
Right, she can even just make public comment.
Yeah,
Because there
exactly.
will be public comment on this.
So,
And we need to educate the council on the merits of going forward.
Yeah.
And not rush the process.
and I am perfectly open at the committee's will to, I mean, I'm not gonna present this as something that's about to happen. My intention would be to present this as an interesting legal strategy. for which we don't have solid evidence of efficacy. But the statement is critical. And we look to their support.
That's where we start.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would.
Every good effort has a start point.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I feel like what we'll be saying is that we're prepared to start.
Dan, did you have something else?
Yeah, I wanted to just say that, Anson, I hear you, but also that hesitation that you have is the thing that keeps us globally from ever trying things and trying to move things forward, because we're always like hemming and hawing. We're not sure, is this actually the right vehicle for this thing? Is this the most effective? And I think that kind of thinking doesn't benefit the people who this bill is trying to benefit. It benefits the people who are causing the thing in the first place.
But I guess my problem here is kind of this notion of equity. Who really is responsible for it? Is it just an oil company or a power company that has polluted it? Or is it all of us?
It's all of us, and all of us are in fact paying. This bill would in no way cover all of the expenses associated with the downstream effects. We're still gonna be sick, we're still gonna be paying for repairs and things that, I mean, we're still gonna be fighting about Scotto Hill Road, which was a viable passageway 50 years ago. It may not be in the future. A lot of that can't be undone. And it is my firm belief that the public was much later to the understanding or to the access to the information than company leadership was. So, here is my sense. My sense is that each person on the committee has come to a position on this bill, on this resolution related to this bill. And that we're not gonna change anybody's mind at this point. Is there somebody ready to call the question? Or are we all ready? Are you ready to stand down and vote? You're welcome to vote against it.
I have no desire to vote against it. I think if I've spent some time thinking about it, and I just don't think I understand it to the point that makes me feel comfortable voting for it. So if it were all up to you and it's okay with the committee, I would just abstain.
Okay. Are we prepared to vote
And
then?
that doesn't mean I'm against climate action
No.
or anything else. I don't feel grounded enough to say that I support it or
Very-
I disagree with it.
Very fair. Okay. Jamie, can you run the vote, please?
We need a motion in a
Oh,
second.
motion a second, sorry. We shouldn't have been discussing it until we had a motion a second.
We're very
Yeah, way to
formal.
go, Robert. Okay, do we have a motion? And the motion.
I moved to approve the bill to send it to the town council.
From the
I
amendment to
second.
resolution?
Yes, I moved to send the resolution to town council.
I second.
Second from Lydia. Now we can run the vote. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Deb,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Anton,
I'm going to abstain, as I said.
Lydia,
Yes.
Lady,
Patrice,
Yes,
Dan.
Am I allowed to vote?
Yeah, we'll go with it. We're down a man.
Okay. So that was old business. I don't see, oh, that was minutes, I'm sorry. Anything else that we need to do there? Item number 2, Sustainable Scarborough Day, determine a 2026 approach. Who's prepared to lead that discussion? Is that you, Jamie, or is it someone
Yeah.
else?
Yeah, so as we discussed, I think at our November meeting, we kind of did a bit of a debrief from, actually, I guess it was October, from Sustainable Scarborough Day. The turnout was lower than this past year than it had been in previous years, so the committee started talking about possibly discontinuing it in 2026. We've learned that the Scarborough Leader had the wrong times published, so that may have contributed to some of the lower turnout. It was also a beautiful day in October. We don't get many 80-degree days in October, so that may have been playing into it as well. So just in the recognizing the time that it takes to pull the event together, it would be good to have a discussion sooner rather than later on how we're going to move forward in 2026.
Well, as I recall from the November meeting, the consensus was that we should do it again. Right? That seemed to be the consensus.
I
that
don't know
was
that there was consensus. I think that there was a lot of discussion. I don't know that anybody had a kind of a set stance on that. I will say the Conservation Commission, I shared that this committee was considering not continuing it in 2026, and they felt if you got to give it one more shot, see.
Oh, yeah,
see what
okay,
happens.
that's what I was,
Yeah.
so that's what I walked out of the meeting thinking, that everybody wanted to do it one more time.
I mean, that's, like I said, that was Conservation Commission, that wasn't this group. And this group is the one that does the primary lift on the event, so.
Do you have any feedback from vendors as to whether they?
Yeah, I've gotten
Come
some
again,
have,
or they-
have reached out and said, you know, please let us know about next year's event. We would love to be here again. I would say probably like 20-25% of the vendors have reached out and said that they would.
Like on their own rather than
Yeah.
requesting that feedback?
Yeah,
Okay, so it seems like it was, from the vendor's perspective, worthwhile. Let's be really honest, most of the lift has been on you.
I do want to shout out to Patrice because she definitely.
Yeah, I do have I've been thinking about it, and I think that I think maybe it was Dan that brought up that because many of the heat pump and the solar people weren't there, but the public has already really bought into that. And those companies, if you try to get a heat pump installed these days, you got to wait months. There's just so many people wanting to do it. So the public has bought that. Our goal may be, we might consider trying to move a little bit further down the chain to what an individual can do. And maybe, everywhere you go these days, you see sustainable, this is sustainable, whatever. And maybe reduce, reuse, recycle, and what an individual can do. Maybe, looking at alternatives to plastics, maybe getting somebody to talk about how much plastic is actually in our body. We shouldn't be using all these plastic products in our microwaves, whatever, and heating foods up with this. Maybe getting more, we talked about getting the schools more involved, kids, with doing some kind of an art project for different levels of kids and adults using junk, whatever, that might get parents and more kids to come to the event. Maybe getting, we had talked about recycling and having like a swap shop type thing, and just figuring out, what are we going to do with the rest of the stuff if it doesn't go? Maybe a clothing swap. Lots of towns are doing this. Um, maybe more cooking type stuff. I think really getting the Audubon or the Garden Club people to talk more or have more plants and have it, native stuff, more advertised and get more people there wanting to do those things. Bring it down more to the level. Oh, another thing is my husband's an engineer, and he just a library ran this thing that they're looking for people to do this fix-it shop. Instead of throwing out your devices, bring them in and let's see if somebody can fix them. And maybe getting a few tables together of engineers, people that replace that stupid zipper, whatever. Getting people to do that kind of thing, bringing it more down to the local level. It's just an idea. And I know it's a lot of work and not sexy, and I know this committee is more interested in the big picture as far as power and all that goes, but especially with the government where it is right now, and uh, the fact that a lot of people have bought into that bigger level thing, maybe we should go a little bit lower on the food chain. Just an idea. How to bring the people in?
My sense is that this just needs to be an ongoing conversation with the public, and that this is one of our tools to have that ongoing conversation with the public. We do have some novel ideas, particularly in working with the school, but someone would need to commit to taking that task on and making those early contacts. I think we'd heard that the initial contact should be with the curriculum director, but then to do the work with the art teachers, to have them develop a project, to do the work with the environmental science, that's the 9th grade class, it's been a long time. Environmental science class to, I don't know. In my experience, teachers are always giving extra credit for people who get their passport stamped at an event or whatever.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this might be too kind of complicated, but if we can work with either a group like ECOS or a class to organize like a cleanup of our beaches, and then they take the stuff that they clean off of our beaches and turn it into like an art project that is then on display.
I love that idea.
Sort of
Love
like
that idea.
So kind of getting that ball rolling now will be good, because it's something that we're gonna have to plan for like very first thing when they return to school in the fall to do the cleanup, and then have time for their.
Is there
Or over
someone?
the summer, they could start taking
If they
stuff.
want to do like a class cleanup or a group cleanup, it might like trying to do it during school. Or, I think there are random groups who call asking about doing cleanup. So I don't know if maybe we take some of the usable stuff that they take off of our beaches and kind of give it over as an option for
Okay,
an art
is
project.
there somebody who has the bandwidth to initiate this conversation with the school system?
I would be willing to do it. I think it would be more powerful if I go with somebody that actually has kids in the school or has had kids go through the school, because I didn't, and I'm a mass hole, Maine is a different beast, and it would be nice to go with someone that understood Scarborough school system.
Find myself very willing to participate and very overcommitted,
Mhm.
and so I'm resistant.
So I can maybe make some initial contacts, Patrice, and see if I anywhere, and then hand it off to you if that seems like
I love it. Okay, great.
And I am very willing to attend a discrete meeting. If that's scheduled a time that I'm available to do so. I've sent 4 kids through that system. I only got 1 left, but. And just this year.
I'm happy to help with some outreach too. I was
Thank
looking
you.
at the Scarborough School. They have like a list of clubs right on the website with all the teachers who are the advisors. That could be helpful.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yes.
start with Jamie reaching out to Monique. I think she's still the
The,
curriculum director.
okay,
Monique Culbertson, I mean, you want the curriculum director. And that'll be on the website, and I might be wrong about which person it is.
That when I went and met, when I went into the office there, the school, whatever office, the scary secretary of the superintendent said, all decisions start at the top and he must approve any discussions with any, of anything that was going to happen in the school.
Well, I think you can still, I think that Jamie can reach out to Patrice. I mean,
Mhm.
not your Patrice, to Monique, or whoever that person is. And that person can run it up the chain if that's.
yeah, and I think we can go through the clubs also,
Uh-huh.
as maybe a starting point as well. So like Ecos, I think that their advisor would be open to, helping with something like this too.
And the other thing that I noticed in the most recent email I got from the school system is that they do have a section called Community Bulletin Board
Mhm.
that has links to all kinds of activities, like the Girl Scouts and
Yeah.
stuff. And so I don't know if that wasn't there before.
We have put stuff there,
Okay.
on their community bulletin board about Sustainable Scarborough Day.
Okay.
in the past.
All right, well then, we got that part. All right.
What
so
about the library fix-it stuff, working with the library?
Yeah, we can talk to Elsa to see if
Yeah.
that might be a piece that they can take on and coordinate for Sustainable Scarborough Day. They are huge proponents of it and like to do kind of piggyback events, so we can talk to Elsa about what that might look like this year.
And what
Okay.
about the collection of electronic stuff? I know, as Dan pointed out, you can bring it into various places, but that it involves looking for where you can bring things in. I'm speaking for myself. People are lazy, and sometimes if there's an event and they see, oh, I can bring this, they might even have to go there and see, oh, I can bring my junk there. They'll run home and bring it back. Just an idea. Maybe the Rotary was interested in maybe doing something with that. I have a contact at the Rotary, a past president. Maybe I could reach out and see if they're interested in doing that.
Yeah.
And okay,
The last time they talked about it, they got started really late, so if
Yeah.
if it's on their radar now, hopefully something could come of it for this time around.
can I reach out to the Rotary?
Please,
Please. I would totally support having another entity manage that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
Timing wise, a swap shop for children's Halloween costumes would be perfect, and I've been trying to
Ooh,
take that on. Without success for a decade now.
yeah,
I'm not able to do it. but-
maybe I don't know if this is something like community services might do, but since they have their kind of aftercare program and stuff, I can talk with them to see if that's something that they might be able to pull together for the event.
And
as
for
well.
that material, I bet we could make connections with somebody like Maine Needs or an organization that works with families in need.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
would be willing to take extra Halloween costumes off our hands.
Yeah, even, I
It's-
mean,
It's less scary to me than trying to do bigger items.
Right.
Or general clothing.
and if we
or-
know pretty much what we're asking for and what we're
Yeah.
expecting, I think that that's much easier to kind of deal with after the fact than just a random assortment of stuff and we have no idea, like, who might use it, where it might go.
Exactly.
So I know
we
like
need somebody-
daycares would even
We would
take.
need somebody to coordinate that.
Mhm.
It would be a good project for a Girl Scout Silver or Gold Award.
Mm.
Would be, I just don't know the Boy Scout system as well to know if there would be. A place
Yeah.
to
Sure,
promote
there
the Boy
must be.
Scout programming. There could be a high school club that would be willing to coordinate that. Is there somebody willing to take on the task of trying to track down a sponsor for a Halloween costume shop?
Yeah,
like it.
I could take that on.
Perfect.
Yep.
Great.
Thanks, Lydia.
Yep. That sounds like fun.
Are
I
there,
don't
What-
think the board comes into this at all. This discussion certainly seems to be at a more local level, but I'm the town council's representative to the Board of Education. The Board of Education chair keeps me apprised of what's going on, so we have monthly conversations, so that should be, if it ever comes up that we need the Board of Education to participate in some manner, I've got contact there that would help us.
excellent. Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, and it might just be helpful for them to know that this is happening and that we're trying to involve like schools and students more. Just to kind of get that conversation going, and if you could report back on if they have suggestions for avenues that we should pursue, that would be really helpful.
Why don't I do that?
Yeah, that would be great.
What about moving not the flea market, the vegetable market, whatever, up on Route 1 down for a day?
Yeah, that one I think we've broached before and it hasn't, they were not supportive of that, but that doesn't mean we can't try again.
And we could also make a bigger effort to get messaging information up there.
Well, and we were also
We had a
saying
couple signs, but we could do better.
that maybe we consider moving things to like the high school area instead of at Wentworth, because it would be a little bit closer to the farmer's market, not so much of a walk between the two. If we wanted to try to get
That
some.
parking lot
cross-pollination.
is far more likely to be like used by
Yeah.
a sporting event or something.
Mhm. That's a good point. And this past year, there was a ton of sporting events happening
Yeah,
on the day of Sustainable Scarborough Day.
and so. Yeah.
I mean, I think Wentworth is great. The bus loop is a good setup. It's got the playground is there for if people have kids that want to just go off for a little while and play.
It's
There's
got
just
the
a lot of benefits.
bathrooms, everything.
Easily accessible,
Yeah.
so.
I would be disinclined to try to move it at this
Okay.
point, but I think there are things that we can do to spread the word better with those other activities. Like one of us could even be tasked to bring flyers to the sporting events that are there.
mm,
Try to get people to come from the sporting event on their
Yeah.
way home, or,
Yeah.
I mean, just stuff like that.
mhm.
Does anybody have other questions or comments or reservations about proceeding with Sustainable Scarborough Day this next year?
Just one other comment. Remember Piper Shores did come, they had a booth
Mhm.
and they said that they were thrilled at the number of people that came by and looked at their stuff and talked to them. I think they would do it again. They felt it was definitely worthwhile. If they did, I think other organizations that we haven't even considered, might, because we got to fill the space.
Yeah.
So we need to reach out to other organizations too.
Yeah, and we did have a couple, I want to say at least 3 or 4 drop out at the last minute, which I think is typical. It's kind of been the case each year we've done it, we've had some last minute dropouts. So yeah, kind of trying to get more people there. So if we do have people, kind of back out of the event at the last minute, it's not as noticeable. I had a farmer from Cape Elizabeth reach out to me yesterday saying that he was interested in coming to Sustainable Scarborough Day, so.
Whoa, yeah, go man, go.
I have not responded to him yet because I wasn't sure how this conversation was going to go, but I will definitely respond to him today to let him know that we'll reach out to him when we start with like vendor solicitation and stuff like that.
Was it Jordan Farm? No.
No, no, it was one of the smaller ones. I guess the person heard it from Steffi Cox from Project Grace about attending Sustainable Scarborough Day. So I can't remember his name exactly, although it was a familiar name to me. I think he shares a name with someone else that I know. It's not the same person. But I can't think of it at the moment.
What is he thinking of doing?
I need to get more information from him. So just reached out to say he would be interested in attending, so.
Anything is good.
Okay, Well, do you want to vote to support moving forward, or are you comfortable?
I don't think so. I think as long as the consensus is that, we'll give it another shot this year, and reevaluate after October, I think that that's fine.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the web page. Jamie, can you pop that up?
Sure
And
can.
as she's working on that, I would just like to say, wow. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen in the first round of web page updates.
I looked at it, I thought it was very nice. The first building you see is kind of, you go like, what is that?
Well, that is our community services maintenance building.
From the backside,
That has.
from the ice rink side.
That's the one that we worked on.
Yeah,
I'll add a caption.
that's probably.
Yeah, and oh, okay, what is that? Looked like it was down at the beach.
Yeah, nope, it's right behind this building, right next to Wentworth, actually. Yep, so put
Do
some,
you wanna go with that graphic?
it's what I had. We can definitely change it, but just to have something
Because you
there.
used it, I think, in another spot in this, on this web page too, didn't you?
Well,
I thought I saw it more than once.
I don't think on this, well, maybe it is because I do talk about this.
Oh, the rooftop solar, yeah, you've got it there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, so,
That's where I was able to put two and two together.
yeah,
How
Yeah,
about? Do we have another shot from Sustainable Scarborough Day that we can?
yeah, I can go through those. That one, the orientation just fit for a header, but I would much rather have something colorful with people in it. So yeah, I will look through the Sustainable Scarborough Day pictures that we have, and find another one for the header. That's easy enough. So it's just a brief snippets about the type of work that this group has done with links to more information where it's appropriate.
Yeah, and I thought the links to other resources was very good too, when I looked at that. Resources. I thought that was very useful.
Yep, so we could link to Efficiency Maine, Eco Maine for recycling information. And
Would
then,
it be okay to relabel community liaisons as contact information? 'Cause that's the one thing as I was jumping in, like, what do I do if I want to tell them something? And that was.
yeah,
that's
this is kind
obvious.
of like the standard language, but I prefer contacts for sure.
Okay.
It's more intuitive, so I think I can change that, and if not, I'll request that IT change it to committee contacts.
And then that could lead with a little paragraph that says, we'd love to hear your ideas. What are your questions or concerns? If you're interested in joining the committee, here's what you do. The meetings are open. Whatever, like, I'm just rambling here,
Yeah.
but just information about.
No, that's
how-
a great idea, Deb. Yeah. To make it clear that people can
The
participate.
meetings are open to the public.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
don't
through
know
this
anything.
process, oh, Patrice, did you have something to share?
Yeah, even people that aren't as informed about all the things they do can join because it's important to know.
and that is on that about page that
Yeah.
the meetings are here and they're open. But that could easily be repeated on the
Yeah.
content page. Good.
And I know we had talked about through this process doing like a welcome to Scarborough page, and there is actually a welcome to Scarborough page on the website. And I went through it with our communications person. We discovered it is not like it just kind of like links to existing pages on the website. Doesn't necessarily have really good information, so it's prompted, or it will prompt updates to other pages so that the information is better, more understandable, easily accessible, and easier to find.
Okay.
So that's like on her radar as she can fit it in with other things that she's doing.
Fantastic.
Thought that I had, Jamie, was for the I don't know if there's space or if this is an option, but in the newsletter that goes out, if there could be like the sustainability committee recommends, shares like winter efficiency tips, and then
Yeah.
we could link to the website just as like a subtle way to
To get people there?
get people there. Yeah.
Yeah, there definitely is. So the newsletter goes out on the 1st and the 15th of the month. I would say probably trying to choose one of those, not both.
Yeah, well, or like for more information or more resources from the committee, like here, here you go. But
Yeah.
like electricity is expensive this time of year, and here are some tips that we can just take from, Efficiency Maine or something.
Mhm. Yeah, and I would encourage if there's a committee member that wants to kind of take that on to compile some of that stuff, I can work to get
Yeah,
it
I can do that.
to the newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. There's it depends on kind of my workload, but I always try to get something in there monthly. It doesn't always happen. But that is typically my goal, is to have something sustainability related at least once a month. Busier times that doesn't happen, but
So it would be February 1st or 2nd? Would that be?
it'll go out the 1st, yeah, so usually try to get it to me like a week ahead of time.
Okay.
And if you want to shoot for the 15th, because we're coming up on a week before February 1st really quickly, I think that would be fine too.
Yeah, okay, so mid-February. Yeah, okay. Yep. Well, I mean, I'll have it for you, let's say a week from now, and then whenever it makes sense, put it in the newsletter. Yeah. Cool.
For Allison, and if it's ready and the newsletter on the 1st is really full, sometimes she'll bump it to the next one. But I'll leave that up to her to decide if it's ready for the 1st.
Okay, thank you. To Lydia and also to Jamie for that effort. Can we put this on, like, do we have or do we need a sort of a yearly agenda, like that this automatically triggers that we actually go take a look at it?
At the website?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because websites are never one and done.
no, they are not.
And they always get horrifically
They're
out of date.
only as
Everybody
good as
happens
how
to
often you
notice
use them.
them.
Yeah.
In part because the people engaged in the work spend very little time on the website.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, so if the January timeframe works, then I can make sure that this is on the January agenda each year, or, as stuff comes up that we might want to consider adding to the website, we can be a little more impromptu about it as well.
I mean, I don't object to impromptu, but
Just so it doesn't get lost.
mechanistic
Yeah.
efforts are helpful. Okay, now I've lost the agenda because I clicked through to the website. That's the resolution. Just a second. Sorry, everybody.
It's all right.
I
on
think we're
updates.
through new business and ready for old business, rather. We didn't have any obvious new business, so we're ready for updates. And I think we start with council. Yes, we start with council. Bill.
Town council is going to be updated on the polluter issue. And I have been communicating with the chair, Corey Fellows. So, and Corey, I think, will be receptive to promoting that. So I think as we go forward, the town council will become more involved in that. I'll report to them on at tonight's meeting on the Sustainability Day progress that is being made. So I think that, and I support that. I think that's very encouraging, the discussion of the ways in which we can promote sustainability. So we'll work on that. So.
And if they want to mark their calendars, it will be October 4th this year.
Yeah.
I should know Mike. Thanks, Jamie.
I can send you all an under invite
I
for
should-
Sustainable Scarborough
Oh,
Day.
that's probably a
You
good
will.
idea. Yeah, yeah, I always get these things duplicated on my calendar because I put them there and then you put them there. And Perfect. Is there anything this committee should know about the workshop on housing density and the bill? And I saw something somewhere about this and I don't feel like I'm up to date and I don't know if that's our business.
I mean,
It
it's
feels like a sustainability or
yeah,
conservation
it's
issue.
good for you to know. So, there was a bill passed in the legislature last session, 1829, for anyone that wants to go look at it, and Helen, if you wanna correct me if I get anything wrong. Basically, it allows, residential development up to 4 units on 5,000 square feet of property, as long as there's public water and sewer. And so this is kind of the state's attempt to create more housing, to hopefully bring housing prices down. There's no stipulation in the legislation that any of the housing needs to be affordable. And there's there's nothing in there about sensitive areas or areas where there shouldn't be this level of development. So for example, there's a portion of Pine Point that has public water and sewer, that theoretically we could be cramming a lot more residential housing in there, never mind the fact that it floods currently and it's only going to get worse with sea level rise projections in the future. So,
And this bill preempts local
Right,
control.
so
And so our own zoning ordinances
yeah,
are.
it circumvents our growth management ordinance. So basically all of the guardrails that Scarborough has tried to put in place to control the amount of residential growth that's happening. With this bill,
Has this bill been passed?
yes,
That's right. And I mean, promoting growth, Scarborough is growing leaps and bounds. The biggest issue in Scarborough amongst its citizens is, please, town council, control growth, manage growth, help make sure the transportation and infrastructure systems of the town can meet this demand for growth. So we're kind of an outlier when it comes to the issues that this 1829 is supposed to address. We don't need that sort of oversight.
Well,
We're already,
yeah, do we maybe need the encouragement for higher density? That's the part that I don't actually object to.
right, but higher density in the right, and not just saying anywhere. And so
And the sewage system, like the sewage treatment plants, that's a
Can-
lot of, that's
a
a lot
lot
of
of,
sewage. system.
yeah, do they have the
To the
capacity?
point, yeah,
right.
Well,
which like that should be the limiting factor.
well, first of all, 5,000 square feet is really, really, really small. I mean, that's not even a tenth of an acre, but there's 44,000 square feet in an acre, so this is.
They're getting 4 units on that.
Yeah, so it's good, they're gonna have to be built right on top of each other.
It's townhouses.
Yeah, but I mean,
townhouses.
it's gonna be a tiny little thing and with, built like, what about parking and things like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
And the town council has taken up that it's going to ask the legislative delegation to consider a more selective approach here legislatively, because Scarborough is already doing a lot.
And the sponsor of the bill was Speaker Fecto, right? And he has acknowledged that Scarborough is and has done its fair share in terms of residential development. So, but we're also going to be forced to do more if this bill stays the way it is, this law now, because it has passed. And the town council did pass a resolution opposing
Yes, we did.
the legislation.
Back-
No, recently.
It's so hard to track things in the legislature, and it's almost always this wait a minute, what did you?
Yeah, this one came, I think, really, really fast. It wasn't on people's radar, and then all of a sudden it was here and it was passed. So it happened at the very end of the session, this past year.
Okay. All right, well, that's good to know. Does anybody have comments or questions? Okay. Updates.
Anything else from town council, Bill?
No,
Next is planning board.
I keep closing this. Okay, planning board.
I will say on LD. For those who don't know, I think that goes into effect July 1st of this year, so not currently, but in the coming months, there will probably be a lot of ordinance amendments going through the process just to update our zoning board or zoning, as you mentioned, so. Adaptive will be exciting, it'll touch Yes, and for planning board. We had planning board last night and there was, there were only two submittals. There was a site plan review for Vernon Heights, which is, technically a market rate multifamily, development, but it's designed, the business model essentially is workforce affordability, which is needed, so. That went through site plan last night, but no motion was taken, so they'll be back next month.
Down in the Dunstan area. right?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's Dunstan off. Yes, Dunstan. And they're proposing a future right-of-way transfer to the town, like the transfer property to the town to potentially allow for some traffic solutions, but I can provide more information.
How many units is proposed for that?
24.
24.
24, they have the density factors in place over there, because it's in the TPC district, so 24 total.
And how big is the total site?
That's a great question, I can pull it up. I think it's about a 3-acre parcel. In total.
So these are obviously condos, apartments, something like that, right?
These are apartments for rent, they're studio and 1-bedroom. So we have that, and then we also had a sketch plan. This is the second time it's been through sketch plan review. The our potential RVs at Little Dolphin Marketplace was up for sketch plan review, but their development review process, which contains many steps. So they'll be back for site inventory analysis, and then master plan, and then site plan. So we'll jump through a number of hoops to get that RVs if they want
Like the
it.
fast food chain, perhaps?
Mhm.
Yes.
Arby's is my childhood thing. Happy food,
Right,
and it's
process.
really used for
That's
me
funny.
that the closest Arby's is in top, so.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like
I
a safe
really don't
distance.
need to drive my Arby's every day as much as I.
Oh, this is the one up there by the, this is off of Route 1.
Yeah, Little
This is,
Dolphin.
Little
Yeah,
Dolphin,
exactly.
Up
JoJo's.
where the school is.
I'm an adult now, I really like to eat JoJo's, but.
Yeah, it'll be where the JoJo's is, potentially.
So they have to go through all kinds of other kind of plan approvals.
They do, it's,
Would it be a new structure in that parking lot
it's
or?
a new structure, yeah, it's because they're proposing it with a drive-through, obviously, because RVs, and drive-throughs are only permitted with the plan development review. So they're at the very, very beginning stage.
Is there's space there? I'm sorry.
That's a question.
Well,
They're showing some space there, they've amended their plan quite a bit since their last.
They're they would have to take a chunk of the parking lot
Yeah.
in order to put up their building.
Right now, they have a reduction, they haven't confirmed their parking exhibit yet, but it's probably gonna be a reduction of about 10 parking spaces. So I think the primary concerns with the site are traffic flow with the drive-through and the preschool. Being right there, like just spatially making all that. fit
Oh, yeah.
together is there,
The school's at the other end of the parking lot over here.
right, I believe so, yeah. So it's. Yeah, just thinking it all, but.
Threading that needle.
Yeah.
They're
running that needle.
really squeezing this one in.
Go
You go further south than we want.
Can't they go in the downs?
The incentive, I think, for Little Dolphin specifically to do it is because the nonprofit that rents that school owns the entire parcel and rents out those spaces to different businesses. So I think part of the incentive
It's
for them
revenue
is
for them.
opening an Arby's for them, yeah, to support their work. So that is beginning. And we'll see what happens, but stay tuned for the Arby's and the horsey sauce might be closer than you think. We only had one other thing, it was a minor site plan, and then I think it's an insurance company, just not changes. And then next month we'll have a 40 Higas site plan, which is mixed commercial, industrial, office and industrial use off of Higas. And that's going through subdivision as well as site plan, so that's, but yeah, it's been fairly light.
Thank you.
Quite a bit interesting.
And
Conservation Commission is next. We haven't met yet this year, but the focus for that group for 2026 will be supporting a low impact development ordinance. So basically putting requirements in place that will hopefully reduce impact of development on natural resources, specifically stormwater and local waterways. So we are kind of starting the process with that. Unrelated, but I feel like it might be of interest to this group, since Deb mentioned Scotto Hill Road earlier, there is a town council workshop about Scotto Hill Road that is scheduled in February 1st or 4th, I mean, to discuss options for how to deal with that road. And so the town did apply for and received a grant to remove the culvert altogether and discontinue that end of the road. The grant hasn't been accepted yet because we need to hear from the community on what they would prefer. And there is a grant opportunity to adapt infrastructure for climate change. That site would also be eligible for funding if we apply and are successful. And that would allow us to install basically a climate resilient crossing, basically a much larger crossing to account for future sea level rise and marsh migration.
Would that be in the same location as?
It would be in the same location, yeah.
Is Conservation Commission tracking this or?
Yeah, a little bit, they are, they,
Feels more like they're,
Hmm?
it feels more like they're bailiwick than ours.
yeah, but just for, public information,
Yeah.
if you're interested in learning more, if you live near Scotto Hill Road, or if you use Scotto Hill Road, it might be of interest, to attend that workshop or watch it, online.
I have historically used it. I have other routes right now, but I don't live right there, so.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed going that direction. I've used to. There's a business right there too.
Flaherty's, yeah.
Flaherty's. I don't know why I wanna call it Bailey's, but it's Flaherty's. How would they be impacted?
So, staff have met with them about, the various options, and they are, they don't have, from what they've conveyed to us, they don't have an opinion at this point. They're open to discussing, discontinuing that end of the road. If the road stays in place, that's kind of how it has been for them.
But
so.
if you're not discontinuing that end of the road, you would put something else there, right?
One of the grant that we have currently would be to remove the culvert and make Scotto Hill Road a dead end. So there would not be the cut through between Payne Road and Scotto Hill. So that is one
Which
option.
is where we're at right now.
Which is where we're at right now with the closure and the detour and things like that. There may be an opportunity for a new kind of connector road between Payne Road and Scotto Hill Road that would be a little bit longer than having that direct connection there, that the town's exploring, or we replace the culvert. The options that the town council will be discussing on February 4th and how to move forward. But ultimately, the road is going to remain closed for a while longer. It is because it's the marsh. There's a small window when we can actually do the work there if we're going to remove the culvert, or if we're going to replace the culvert to replace it. And it's basically like end of October through April 1st. So that's because of the marsh and sensitive species that are there, and things like that. So we're looking at least another probably year to year and a half before that road is reopened, no matter what kind of path is chosen in reality.
Are there any updates on Route 1 bridging across the marsh?
Yeah, so we actually have a meeting tomorrow scheduled with DOT to talk about their latest kind of concept. But DOT was in the process of applying for a federal grant last year at this time to put in a bridge span across the marsh and also to raise up the road. That grant opportunity has been discontinued. But DOT has continued to move forward with design, so.
Are there interactions between that and upstream things like the Scotto Hill Road?
Yeah,
Like-
so the analysis that was done basically said, within 10 years, the crossings at Scotto Hill Road and Payne Road are going to need to be addressed because of the Route 1 project.
Okay.
And our vulnerability assessment confirmed that also. So there's nothing, like, if Route 1 were to happen before those upstream changes, we'll have, 10 years or so to figure out what we're going to do up there, but we are starting to talk about it and look at
In the
opportunities.
context of the Saddle Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were already doing that anyway. We knew that Payne Road was going to be, we've got 3 crossings on Payne Road that are going to be affected eventually by the larger opening at Route 1, so that the town had already been starting those conversations.
All right. Anything else from conservation? Since
Uh,
I totally derailed your
No,
report.
you're fine. I derailed it.
Okay.
And then climate action plan, we are getting underway with, an advisory group that Jeff is going to serve on from this committee. The first meeting is scheduled at the end of February, and we'll be going over, the data analysis that they've done. So basically our greenhouse gas inventory, and to begin talking about, goal setting and pathways for, reducing our, climate emissions. So that is happening at the end of February. There will be 3 meetings total with the advisory group. We've also started pulling together our community engagement plan. So that's going to be taking up a lot of my time starting this spring, getting out into the community and talking to people about the climate action plan. Lots of fun things that we're hoping to pull off, like trivia nights and movie nights and things like that, just to start engaging with the community about this type of stuff. And our branding is set, so the campaign is called Sustaining Scarborough, and everything that we do related to climate is going to fall under the Sustaining Scarborough umbrella. Our consultants are working on setting up our dashboard, which will basically be our internet landing page for this project, where people can go to learn more information and things like that. So I hope that that will launch soon, so that we can really start putting information out to the public before we do the community engagement. I hope that that is up and running so that we have a place to direct people for more information. So our consultants have been amazing, super organized, know what they're doing. It's fantastic. So I am terrified of what's coming for me this spring, summer, and fall. But it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yes, that might be the Jamie Fitch Memorial Sustainable.
Who are we using for consultant?
It's Kim Lundgren Associates. They're out of Massachusetts.
Okay.
They're fantastic.
Well, there may be a tie in there. You're needing to do a lot of
Yeah,
outreach.
Yeah, and we have mentioned that throughout this entire process. They are thinking that we're gonna be done before Sustainable Scarborough Day, but we may be able to, there may be ideas or suggestions for what we might focus on for Sustainable Scarborough Day, through Sustaining Scarborough.
Can you add an update on the school building project to our list?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything lately.
Dan just hopped.
Dan had to hop off. Yeah, he's traveling. So I don't know if they've made their selections. Do you know if they've made their selections for the building committee? I'll try to get an update.
Just at this point, I think that needs to be on our list.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to hurry up. The building committee, if they wanna get it done within budget.
Yeah,
Every day they wait.
Yeah, otherwise they're gonna
Great.
have to be coming back and asking for more money.
mhm.
It's not. getting
Or things
better.
are getting value engineered out, so some of the things that they might hope to include.
Yeah, somebody loses the restroom.
Hopefully, we don't have teachers in closets and things like that, or bathroom storage areas like they currently have in the schools.
I think we should let all of the teachers come out of the closet.
Good
Excellent.
answer. And on that note.
And on that note,
Yeah.
does anybody have any other questions, comments, or concerns? The schedule, the agenda points out that our next meeting is scheduled for February 25th. Same bat channel. And with that, I would propose that we adjourn a little early.
Yeah.
Vote by standing.
I second that.